Oh!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Review Show. I'm your host, Chris. Joining me today is my co-host, JoJo, and we're here to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
No Way Home trailer. I'm not a big fan of the names. Like, the whole, Far From Home was alright, Homecoming was in, now it's like No Way Home.
Homecoming made, there's a direct Homecoming dance in that one.
Right.
Now they did it twice, and they have to do it again.
Anyways, so a trailer came out. Now, this trailer was leaked, right? This wasn't a planned drop.
Like
it was leaked first,
day
right?
before or night before, without any of the special effects.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
So it looked weird.
Oh,
And it was also on TikTok, so it was really hard to actually see anything.
Fair enough. So, this is the Spider-Man trailer that was leaked. This is for the new Spider-Man movie that's going to be coming out this Christmas, I think it was.
Oh, so no, it was leaked, and then they also put it out for real.
Right. Yeah, I watched the real one. I didn't watch the leaked one.
It's on Christmas.
Okay, so it is Christmas. First, quick rundown. Spider-Man's identity is out there, obviously, which is a huge deal. Doesn't want his identity to be out there, duh. And then he's trying to find a way to get that to not be the case. Goes to Doctor Strange. They go to do a spell. Spider-Man being Spider-Man fucks it up. And now we have this whole multiverse breaking Spider-Man movie that's going to happen, where apparently we're going to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and our current Spider-Man. Allegedly. I'm really hoping not. Andrew Garfield will be great. Tobey Maguire, I fucking hated that Spider-Man.
They're definitely. If anyone, it's Tobey Maguire.
That, yeah, because we saw the Doc Ock at the end that was from the Tobey Maguire one for sure. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they piece all this together. So there's definitely a couple of interesting things here. So first, we've got the introduction, or not necessarily the introduction, but the working together with Doctor Strange. Makes sense since we're trying to set up his next movie. So keeping him relevant makes sense. So people don't, forget who the fuck he is. I did like how he walks in and it's snowing inside the building. I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's weird they haven't fixed that building up, because it's been years, I think, at this point since it got.
Was a hole fell through there? Yeah. So they were saving the galaxy, dude, or the world. Fucking bigger things, bigger fish to fry, I guess, than fucking fixing a window. Although fucking, not to mention literally half of them were in a different fucking other thing going on there. So, but yeah, what I'm excited to see is the pressure that we're going to see on Peter Parker with the fact that his identity is Spider-Man, or is now it's up. Everybody knows. So seeing that pressure, because I'm hoping it's going to be more than just because obviously we saw the J. Jonah Jameson hate mongers, they show up in full, ready to go, fuck you, Spider-Man. So that's great. I'm hoping to see where the turning point for him to go to talk to Strange. Because we saw them all sitting in interrogation rooms. I'm hoping that there's some kind of attempt at murder on Aunt May or something like that. And that pushing him to be okay, I gotta go, because that's really what it comes down to. Whenever we look at the comics and shit like that, it's always I gotta protect my identity because my identity leads to everybody else getting hurt. I don't care so much about me, but if people know that I'm Peter Parker, then Aunt May could get hurt, so and so get hurt, Mary Jane could get hurt, back and forth. So it makes sense. That was the whole crux of the Civil War in the comics, was the fact that people didn't want their secret identities out there, and the government felt that, being behind a mask and being able to do whatever you wanted to behind the mask, there was nothing on the line for you. So, you could do stuff like, go outside your bounds or, be a little risky and stuff like that. So people were scared of these mass vigilantes and they wanted, a little bit more accountability. And that was a way of doing that. So by giving up their secret identities. And it's actually funny because in the comics, for those of you who don't know, Peter Parker was actually on Tony Stark's side during the Civil War, which Tony Stark's side was for the whole, everybody knew who Tony Stark was. He fucking walked out, I am Iron Man. He loved it. Like that's Tony Stark. But ended up switching to Cap's side about midway through the Civil War comic book series, which is, in my opinion, is still one of the greatest Iron Man, Spider-Man moments in comic book history. So, for me, at least. So, it will be interesting to see if, like, that pressure is there, that heat is there, because, I mean, there's so many comics that I've read where that was always... For me, I feel like it was always a bigger threat with Spider-Man, because a lot of his villains deal with people who were close to him. We have the Lizard, who was his fucking idol, as far as, one of the top scientists. Same thing with Doc Ock. Literally somebody he fucking idolized as a scientist. We've got Harry and Norman Osborn, both Green and Hobgoblin. I mean, a lot of the fucking people, fucking the bully, Eddie Brock as Venom. Like, that everybody in his life at some point becomes a villain. Maybe Peter Parker shouldn't be a Spider-Man, dude. Maybe
it happens a lot.
Maybe he's a problem. Maybe Peter Parker's the problem. Maybe that's what we haven't cracked into yet. Maybe he's the problem.
He's just living a life where it's like he's in an apartment. It's not like Iron Man who has like guards and
Avengers Tower.
Right. Yeah. It's different also in these movies. He's like the only character who has a secret identity. He's the only character it's relevant for in, like, everyone knows who Iron Man is, everyone knows who Captain America, Hawkeye. There's no attempt to be like wear a mask or anything.
Yeah.
Anyone except him.
I mean, to be fair, whenever you look at people like Hawkeye and Black Widow, I mean, it's important to look at the fact that obviously they're not considered like on the same level. Like, they're a member of the Avengers, but people don't look at them as like an actual like superhero. Yeah. In my opinion, a lot of people really would, like, if they lived in today's world and were real, like, I would be like, fucking, Black Widow should have her identity. It's like, she's just somebody that would be like looking at like a CIA agent or something like that. It's like fucking, obviously more badass because she's a fucking badass, but still, it's not like that crazy to where, like, you have somebody like fucking, I mean, it sucks to say it because Iron Man basically is the same shit. It's his suit that does everything for him, but still, Iron Man's considered like a superhero.
It's just like originally in comics, it was like everybody had a secret identity, and was even like Thor had to turn into a doctor sometimes.
Yep.
Just pretend to be a normal dude, and the movies just are all like, no, who cares?
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting to see that shift too. This is something that I've always thought about. It's an interesting shift because it's like when comic books started. Whenever we look at, like, not necessarily like the origin, but like when we look at something that was like coming out of like the bullpen and shit, good old Jack King Kirby and everything else back before Stan Lee was Stan Lee. We've got, Captain America was a thing. Captain America was a comic that was written where he was going over and he was fighting Nazis because that's what we were currently doing. So while we had people over there fighting in the war, we had people reading about it here, about how Captain America was there right along with our troops to help bring them home safe. That was what we had. And Stan Lee was doing funny little cartoons at the end of those comics. Like, that's where he got his start. And then Stan Lee was the first person to really give us the identity behind the mask for all characters. That was like his big deal. That's what he brought to comics, where we felt a lot more. It was like a lot of the old school video games. Mario's a perfect example. So is Zelda. There's the hero, there's the damsel in distress, there's the big obstacle in front of the damsel in distress. Hero takes out the obstacle, gets the damsel in distress, goes home. Everybody has a good, happy ending. Sweet. Awesome. Same thing with comics. Stan Lee was like, these people, I mean, think about it. We can add real life struggles, real life problems. And so where a lot of people think that Spider-Man was Stan Lee's first comic, and actually wasn't, it was the Fantastic Four, where he introduced the aspect of being a scientist but not a paid scientist. You know, fucking Reed Richards struggling to pay bills, keep the Baxter building open, therefore having issues between him and his wife, the Invisible Woman, and them having possible divorce and everything else going on. The brother not being able to cope with the fact that he has these powers now and kind of living with them and being an asshole. And then you had the fact of Ben having to lose his wife and all the shit he went through because he, unlike everybody else, couldn't turn his powers off. He was always the thing. Which, because I said his name, small little sidetrack, best comment I've seen so far on the new Spider-Man trailer was everybody talking about all the Spider-Man showing up, and they were talking about the Doc Ock at the end, and there was like this string of comics, and it's like, who the fuck isn't in this movie? And one comment just said Uncle Ben. I was like, no fucking way. Because, like, there's Sandman, like, everybody's showing up. We saw the pumpkin bomb. It's just like, who the fuck is it in this movie? And this dude just puts Uncle Ben, ... And I was like, no fucking way, dude.
Don't see too soon. Maybe there is an Uncle Ben.
Oh, fuck. Anyways, but, so back to what I was saying. So, you know, he gave us that aspect. So the reason why Spider-Man is his favorite hero and considered his baby is because that was the one that he did on his own. When he created Spider-Man, there's a lot of pushback from the publishers about spiders were a big deal for fear back then. Like, they still are now, but they were way bigger back then as far as, like, a lot more people had the fear of spiders. And it was like, you can't sell it. It's not going to sell. You're not going to be able to sell something that people are scared of. This dude gets bit by a spider. He's Spider-Man shooting webs out. People aren't going to like that. And Stan Lee basically paid for the publishing by himself out of his own fucking pocket. And look at Spider-Man today. I'd be pretty fucking proud of that too. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes sense. So, but once again, Spider-Man is that perfect example of, like, Stan Lee wanted him to be different. This is a kid that's having to deal with trying to be a hero, and on top of that, he's got all this other shit he's got going on in his life, the death of his uncle, him not knowing that much about his actual fucking parents, and having to struggle to fucking pay bills and make it through school and all this other shit. Like, we got that from Stan Lee. So to see Stan Lee be the person to give us that secret identity to protect, I think this is the first time we're actually being able to see it being attacked in the movies now. And I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go. Especially with Spider-Man. Because he is a kid, you know? At the end of the day, he is a kid. That is a big... It's like you said, I mean, he lives in an apartment. He's not a Tony Stark where he's got these, fucking laser fucking bars and shit like that to guard his doors and armed guards and everything. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that luxury, and the people in his life do not have that luxury. So therefore, there's a lot more at stake.
He does have a wizard friend. So
he does.
He gets to solve everything.
Well, and it's always funny because it's like, obviously the comics, I mean, they've always been terrible about, like, keeping shit straight. Like, that's never been a thing comics have been good for or good at. But, I mean, we've had instances where where random villains have just known where Peter Parker lived. Like, I'll never forget that series. I can't remember what the name of it was. It's an older Spider-Man series, but it was like the dawn of mercenary Venom, not like the Flash Gordon mercenary Venom, but like the anti-hero Venom. So it was like villain Venom, anti-hero villain Venom, villain Venom again, and then mercenary Venom has pretty much been like his trajectory so far. So it was during his anti-hero where he was like, I'm trying to do somewhat good shit, but I'm still a dick about it. That's Venom. And I'll never forget, it was like Carnage broke loose and Venom was trying to stop him. And Peter Parker's identity is a secret at this point. Besides, Eddie Brock knows who he is because obviously they're fucking friend. Or, well, he doesn't know who he is. Never mind, that's wrong. But his, like, ribs were fucked up. Peter Parker's were. And he's got a healing factor, but it's not as good as, like, fucking Deadpool. So he's just out. And fucking Venom's like, don't worry about it, I got it. And then I remember at the end of the comic, there's like a knock on the door, and you see him get up, and he opens the door, and Venom just falls. And it's like the Venom suit all the way up to like right here, and it looks like the head had been ripped off, and there was like a note like stabbed into his back from Carnage, where it literally said, next time or next time I come to town, you better come greet me, or you'll end up like this too, or some shit like that. And I was just like, that was such a badass moment. How the fuck did Carnage know who Spider-Man was and where he fucking lives in such a big ass city like New York? You know what I mean?
Doesn't Eddie Brock know who Peter Parker is? Because the symbiote knows who Peter Parker is.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Maybe the Carnage symbiote also transferred that information somehow. I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah. The symbiotes are so interesting to me. I like that world, and it looks like we're actually going to be getting more in this Venom movie because I think we're going to get Scream. I think we're definitely going to get Scream.
There's definitely a second one other than Carnage.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to end up seeing the female one, Scream. I think that's what we're going to end up getting. But it's so interesting to me because I remember reading whenever Carnage first came out and stuff like that, and reading those comics. I mean, obviously I wasn't, around during that time, but like whenever I finally got to reading comics, and just how like the whole thing was interesting, where it's like Carnage is Venom's kid, and because he's Venom's kid, Carnage will technically always be stronger than Venom because just the way that worked. And then they like retconned it to where it was like Carnage is just stronger than Venom because Carnage is just stronger. Because then they had the whole thing come out where Carnage got pregnant and gave birth to Hybrid and tried to kill Hybrid because he was worried that Hybrid was going to be stronger than him, like he was stronger than his father, Venom. So, yeah. And then the weird part is it's like there's all these other ones like Toxin and Scream and all them, and it's like, okay, cool. So Carnage has brothers and sisters. It's like, no, those are actually Venom's brothers and sisters. And it's like, what? Like, it's all over. There, Yeah, the symbiotic world is fucking weird, dude. But it's cool. I mean, a lot of them look really cool. A lot of them have interesting powers. I mean, Hybrid's a really interesting one. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really happy. So I'll say this, and we can kind of talk about that trailer too a little bit. The Venom trailer. Woody Harrelson looks way better without that stupid fucking red curly wig they had him in. Thank God they fucking got rid of that. It's just, I don't care for the comedy. I feel like the comedy is always so off-putting in the Venom movie and the Venom trailers. Like it just seems so just off. It doesn't land right, and I don't know, man.
They're just like, because he and Eddie Brock and the symbiote are like buddy cops.
They're buddies. They're perfect example. Perfect buddy cops.
That's not really what it is.
No,
it's supposed to be necessarily.
So I don't know, man. It's fucking weird, but I mean, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see Carnage finally. Carnage on the big screen. So I always said if Carnage came out, he'd need to be a rated R movie. That's the only way you can really do Carnage right. But because I think we did I don't know if it was a DFU. I don't think we did a DFU on Carnage. I think it was just when we were doing the Venom trailer, or not Venom trailer. I think we did a Venom review show. Yeah, it was me, Brandon, Kelsey, and Bree. We did a Venom review show, and we were talking about if Carnage would ever make it into a movie. And I said they would need to do rated R. And Kelsey, not knowing that much about specific comic book characters, didn't know that much about Carnage. And she was like, well, what is like the worst thing Carnage ever did? And I was like, I'll never forget, there was this one time where he was being chased by Venom and Spider-Man. And he busts through this New York building. And you see this mom ironing her clothes. And he looks at the mom, and they do that whole like where he's talking in his head of like, kill her, snap her neck, give them something to stop. And you see the tentacles come out like he's about to do it, and then all of a sudden you hear a baby crying. So, and then it goes back out to where you see Spider-Man and Venom swinging into the fucking building, and Carnage, instead of killing the mom, has grabbed the baby and then threw it completely out a window into traffic. So that way they would have to go save the baby while he could keep going that way. And Kelsey's just like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, Carnage is a little on a different level. Just a little bit. He's a special kind of crazy. So it'll be interesting to see him actually in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to, like, they've adapted Carnage to things that aren't rated R before. Like, They put him in that Spider-Man cartoon in the '90s where he couldn't even punch people.
Yeah.
They put him in a PS1 game. Like there's ways to just not do the most. As long as you don't show too much like gore, they can get away with throwing a baby in traffic as much as they want. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Just can't show the baby actually get run over.
Actually get hit by a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, we were talking about with Stranger Things being in Dead by Daylight. Somebody, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was maybe it was a mom. I don't know. They're all like, "Oh, the kids aren't in the game," and I was like, "Well, I mean, they can't just show a killer going around fucking stabbing kids and putting them on a fucking rusty hook and shit. Obviously, I mean, all the kids are like fucking 10 years old. Of course, it's only the 18-year-old kids that are in the game." I was like, Jesus Christ. Fucking imagine that shit doing like the Michael Myers execution or something where you're like pick them up by the neck and stab them a couple fucking times and just throw them down. Little fucking 10-year-old Mike just dead. Oh man, it'd be fucking nuts.
Great.
Yeah, it would be. That's for sure.
Nice to not be.
But yeah, so like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see the Spider-Man stuff. We got a lot of villains coming into play here. We saw the pumpkin bomb. So the pumpkin bomb, if I'm not mistaken, automatically means hobgoblin, right?
No, Green Goblin does that too.
I thought the Green Goblin had bombs, but the actual jack-o'-lantern bomb, at least in the comics, was like a hobgoblin thing.
Pumpkin stuff.
Okay,
too. They both do.
Okay, I just couldn't remember.
It's Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is in the movie.
Oh, it is gonna be Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
There's a shot of him out there as well. That's the Green Goblin that's in it.
Damn, Willem Dafoe coming back to play the Green Goblin. It's so crazy for me to think about those movies because I hate them so much, mainly because of fucking Tobey Maguire, and fucking Kirsten Dunst. But other than those two, like it's crazy for me to think that like James Franco was Harry Osborn. Like
yeah.
James fucking Franco. Like, in today's world, James Franco, like, let's say he never was in the Spider-Man movies and he did everything else in his career, I would never see him getting casted in a fucking superhero movie. Especially somebody who's, like, technically considered a main character. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, when he first got cast, he was just cast as, like, a douchebag teen or something, you know? It wasn't until the third movie they had to make him...
Harry.
Try to fight people.
Yeah, man. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. So there's those two, Green Goblin and Doc Ock for sure, and there's like a sand pillar you can see, and there's lightning.
Yep.
So there's Electro and Sandman.
Yep, Electro, Sandman.
Apparently you can see kind of the Lizard in like one brief bit.
Yeah.
So presumably there's a sixth character also, but they're not like in the trailer. There's no way they're doing the Sinister Five. That would be absurd.
Yeah. I'm trying to think on who would be the other person. I mean, it can't be Vulture, right?
You would think not, because like the characters from other universes.
Yeah.
It's weird because the first Spider-Man Homecoming, they really felt like they were setting up more organic.
Sinister Six.
Tom Holland Sinister Six with like there's a guy in prison who's like Scorpion, or supposed to become Scorpion theoretically.
Yeah. And
there's Vulture. They had a guy who was Shocker, kind of.
Yeah.
They're just kind of jumping. So it's probably Rhino. Would be
that's the only other person I can think of.
They have 3 from the Tobey Maguire, then they'd have 3 from the Andrew Garfield if they do that. And it would be weird if they did Dane DeHaan, Harry Osborn, Goblin.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah, I could see that. So we would have Doc Ock and... Okay, wait. Yeah, we'd have Doc Ock and... Motherfucker. Hobgoblin, or not Hobgoblin, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And Sandman would all be from Tobey Maguire's universe.
Yeah.
And then we would have Electro and the Lizard, presumably the Lizard.
Yes.
And then...
And probably Rhino.
Probably Rhino from...
Unless they do something where it's Vulture teams up or just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I could see them doing something where like none of them are like Tom Holland villains. So
yeah,
that would
because
make
it seems to
sense.
just be all these villains are here because magic.
The multiverse.
Yeah,
Huh. Yeah. It's gonna be
man,
interesting.
like they have wanted to do a Sinister Six thing. They were pushing that so hard
For a
during those Andrew
while.
Garfield movies.
Yeah.
Now they're just fucking. They're like, okay, this is too hard to set up. Just magic's happening. Okay, we're doing it because of just magic. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, yeah, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Disney versus Sony. I mean, Sony can't keep their shit together. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to watch the
Oh,
Andrew
yeah, I don't
Garfield
know.
movies again, dude. That was
Weird.
by far my favorite fucking Spider-Man, dude. Like Tom Holland does a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I loved Andrew Garfield. For me, whenever it comes,
I don't know. I didn't love the movies he was in, so it's harder to judge
for me,
him as a person.
whenever it comes to the superheroes, it's not so much who plays a superhero, because in my opinion, it's easy. It's easy to play Spider-Man. It's easy to play fucking Batman. It's a lot harder to play Bruce Wayne. It's a lot harder to play Peter Parker. And I felt Andrew Garfield played an amazing Peter Parker. Like, yeah, he definitely had the whole pretty boy thing going on, so it was a little easier. But I mean, name one person who technically hasn't, besides, in my opinion, Tobey Maguire. But I mean, obviously, still.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire is a very convincing weirdo.
Yeah, like even Tom Holland. Like, I mean, I see that dude's like fucking short Twitter videos all the fucking time of him doing like fucking push-ups and shit, and he's like all fucking buffed and fucking hair all slicked back and everything. I like Tom Holland. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying his Spider-Man is bad. It would definitely be Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and then fucking way down there Tobey Maguire. But I mean, I don't think I've seen anything come close besides obviously the Deadpool movies and like, some stupid fucking biased. Come close to how well the death of Gwen Stacy scene was done, in my opinion. I feel the death of Gwen Stacy was done brilliantly. Super fucking good. I mean, I would have liked it to be a little bit more like the comics where it was like the whole thing on the bridge, but the clock tower shit, fuck it. It worked. It worked. I got it. I understood it. It worked. It was great. It was beautiful. It was a great moment. And it just sucked because, like, when you see her in the first movie, I automatically knew that they were going to kill her off in the second movie. I called that shit so hardcore. I was like, Emma Stone, I was like, you got fucking the trash can that played Mary Jane in the first set of movies. I was like, Emma Stone is just so good of a character that I could see her fucking being like, all right, we got to make Spider-Man actually hurt this time. Like, we got to give the fans, like, the actual, like, origin of how Spider-Man became. I mean, yeah, there's the Uncle Ben's, which technically Uncle Ben actually never said the whole, with great power comes great responsibility. I love how that's, like, a fucking thing in the movies. That actually was not an Uncle Ben saying whatsoever. It's actually, no, it was Stan Lee. At the very end of the movie, or at the very end of the comic, he's doing, like, a monologue. And in the monologue, it says it. Uncle Ben actually never said the words, with great power comes great responsibility. So... Okay. But adapting it into the thing, it made sense for them to have Uncle Ben say it. Duh.
Yes, instead of having Stan Lee show up.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So, it's just, man, dude. I'm excited if the other Spider-Men show up. I really don't care about Tobey Maguire, but I would love to see Andrew Garfield don the spider suit again. That'd be so dope. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I think we're going to get more teased with the villains for the Sinister Six than 3 Spider-Men fighting next to each other. Just kind of seems a little far-fetched, you know?
I mean, I think they're gonna be. They gotta be there. They must.
I mean, but
what are you doing?
You can't do a cameo. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. Like Tobey Maguire. Even okay, this is the best example. I hate Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I've said this 1,000 times now. Fucking hate him.
Yeah.
It would be such a disservice to his Spider-Man for him to show up and be like, all right, yeah, cameo here, but you got it. I'll let you go. You take care of it.
I think he will like be there, for at least a third of it or something. For like whatever final battle happens, you'd probably get the other 2 of them.
Yeah. Did you ever play, fucking A? No, I can't remember the damn name. It's the Spider-Man. It's the first time they did like the whole multiverse Spider-Man game.
I didn't play that one. Shattered Dimensions?
Yes, that one. You didn't play that one? Oh, damn it. because like the whole thing is based around Mysterio, and at the end, the last cutscene is like all four of the Spider-Men coming together and kicking the crap out of Mysterio together, and then fucking Madam Web closes the whole multi-dimension, sending everybody back to their fucking dimensions. I'd like to see Madam Web in a movie. That'd be pretty cool.
There was when Sony was doing all those like trying to do Sinister Six movie, they're playing a bunch of spin-offs. There was talk about them doing a Madam Web movie. It's a movie about her.
I don't think she needs a movie, but it'd be cool if like we got an introduction to her as a character and how she plays a part in the multiverse and all that shit.
Yeah, then, before they started letting Marvel use them, they had some bad ideas.
What we haven't seen yet, which I'm kind of surprised. So you know how we saw Howard the Duck in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I would love to see, even if it's just like an ad, like let's say fucking, especially in this movie with everybody knowing like, who it is. I would love to see like some kind of like cartoon depiction of Peter Porker.
You want Spider-Man to show up?
Yeah,
that'd be great. I don't think that will happen.
But I could see something where it's like people making fun of him type deal.
That would be great.
Like something drawn, you know what I mean? Where it's all like, because he helps out the cops and they call cops pigs. It's like, it's fucking Peter Porker. Look at him. Oink, oink, and shit
John
like that.
Mulaney in this movie also to do whatever that bit is.
Dude, that'd be fucking great. Ugh. I'd be excited about it. Excited about it.
Please, that sounds great. I'm in a what if Porker episode. What if Tom Holland was a pig?
Yeah, well, I've seen the shit list coming out so far for What If. I don't think we're gonna get anything good out of that. So I haven't watched them yet. Man, no. I haven't watched them yet. So
Black Panther episode's pretty good. Or not Black. It's T'Challa.
It's T'Challa and Star-Lord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I haven't watched them yet. I'll try to get around that. How many are there supposed to be? Is it only supposed to be 4 or 6?
10.
10. Okay.
They're like half an hour. They're short.
They're short. Okay. How many are out so far?
3.
Oh, okay.
4th one's tonight, maybe.
Got you. Yeah, I'm so behind on so many shows, dude. I got on a binge where I just started watching like a shit ton of fucking movies, and not to mention I fucking watched Clerks 2 like fucking 20 times in a row. I got really into that movie, dude. Like, I think I did not appreciate that movie enough as a kid. I did not, because I didn't get it. I did not appreciate the comedy of that movie enough as a kid. And now as I'm going back and watching it, I'm just like, there's so many brilliant scenes. Just so many fucking brilliant scenes. Done super fucking well. God damn it, dude. I love fucking Kevin Smith. But I saw like a picture that they did of the cast of Clerks 3 all together, and I'm like, fuck, they're old, dude. Like, oh my god. Dante with all white hair. I was like, bro, this is not the Dante I know.
Yeah, when you see Tobey Maguire, it's gonna be shocking because he's gonna be like 50 years old.
That's crazy to think, dude.
Maybe 40, probably. I'm making that up, but too old. Too old to still be Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I can't even think like what the last thing he was even in.
I don't know. He made a lot of money. He doesn't have to do anything anymore if he doesn't want to.
That's true. I mean, fucking Spider-Man.
His last credited role on IMDb is The Boss Baby. It was in The Boss Baby.
There you go.
4 years ago.
I mean, that seems like a normal thing for people to do. I mean, once they kind of get too old for acting, they just shoot over to voice acting.
Yeah, but even that, it's the only voice acting role he did. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah,
like it's weird. Yeah, but
must have paid well.
We got all that Spider-Man money. He doesn't have to do anything ever again.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Spider-Man, Great Gatsby. That was a good movie.
Yeah, I think Gatsby's the last big movie he did, for real, though. He played Bobby Fischer in a chess movie I never heard of.
Seabiscuit? Wasn't he Seabiscuit?
Yes, he was also in Seabiscuit.
There you go. It's a Seabiscuit money, dude. Fuck Spider-Man money. It's Seabiscuit money, though, dude.
Yeah, I mean...
That's where he's making all of his dough.
Huge.
That's where he's making all of it. But, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yes. They're doing Spider-Man, and I guess that was the point, is he might be in it, or he might not be. But Dr. Octopus is in it for sure. So
yeah, I'm just saying I can't do like the small little cameos. That wouldn't make sense.
No, I think if they're in it,
they have to be in it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Unlike...
I'm convinced that the scene at the end of the trailer where Octavia is saying hi Peter or whatever, he's talking to Tobey Maguire, probably.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know who Tom Holland is. Like, That's
true.
And the way it's cut is where they splice in a scene of Tom Holland. It doesn't look like it's the same scene.
Right.
They fake you out with that stuff all the time.
Yeah, all the fucking time. I've seen that shit happen a fucking lot. So yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how much Doctor Strange plays a part in it too. Because if we've got like Doctor Strange and 3 Spider-Men, like it doesn't matter. Like fucking
he's
2 Sinister Sixes
the Iron Man
there.
part.
I'm not really sure.
Like from Homecoming.
Yeah, not really sure how well the Sinister Six is gonna do against 3 Spider-Men and Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange is stupid fucking OP. So
they'll have to come up with something where like Doctor Strange has to go do a spell for a while, fix this off screen. Only the Spider-Man can fight, or something. They'll come up with some excuse.
And the only thing that I've got an issue with as far as Doctor Strange is concerned was fucking Dormammu, dude. I felt like Dormammu was a big fuck up for them. Like Dormammu was a beast, and he was just like.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't be like Dormammu's still out there, man.
Yeah,
Dormammu
I know.
can show up anytime.
But it just, I don't know.
All he did was, have a conversation with Dormammu.
Yeah.
Really, that dude can come back.
It's just so hard for them to do something like Dormammu or Galactus, correctly. So
yeah,
because I would love to see.
I think that was a conscious thing to then not have Doctor Strange actually fight Dormammu because like that wouldn't go well, or like if that just happened and went well, it would be like
bad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, so Spider-Man going to be coming out. That's pretty much all my thoughts on it. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what they go to do with it. Should be cool. Should be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Spider-Man. I have anything else to add? You got anything else to add?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic or something. Like, I don't know. It seems like it should be a mess, but they've done well so far, so.
That's true. They have.
Some faith.
They have. They have such a weird contract too, Marvel and Sony with fucking Spider-Man. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it seems like they finally settled it. Mostly though.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a little while until they do another one.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see. I mean, I know that there's talks about sooner or later Tom Holland Spider-Man's supposed to show up in the Venomverse, which I don't see how that would play out well at all. I don't feel like Tom Holland Spider-Man is fit to play in a rated R Venom universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean,
he's got that innocence about him.
Parker plays in whatever universe Venom is in, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Peter Parker himself in comics is not a rated R kind of character, but he still deals with Carnage.
Yeah, right? But he's also not like a baby face looking kid like Tom Holland is either, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time. So, it kind of makes sense. Oh, well. Either way, we'll see what happens when it comes out. But we're going to wrap it up there. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views. Are you excited for Spider-Man? Do you think all the Spider-Man are going to show up? Who is your favorite Spider-Man out of the 3 Spider-Man?
Okay, wait. Just real quick. That Venom movie wasn't rated R.
Was it not?
No, it's PG-13. The Carnage movie is also going to be PG-13.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, since JoJo wants to fucking rain on my parade, comment section below. Hit us in the comments. Let us know your favorite Spider-Man. We also got the links down there in the description below for Twitters and Twitches. But at the end of all this, hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.